Beat it, or I'll call the Brute Squad.
I'm on the Brute Squad.
You are the Brute Squad.
Do you remember the time that your sister Heidi got nipped by an ostrich?
And they miss your head.
The bear started heading towards our car, and it was about to become an issue.
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the show that gets a close, comfortable shave using high-powered lasers. Today's show is entitled Too Close for Comfort.
Dad, you were too close to the microphone for me to be comfortable.
How about if I do the show back here? Would that be better?
You're too close to the wall for my comfort.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after we get this figured out. Inflatable Lobster Claws is having a huge blowout sale.
Get it? Blowout sale?
Currently, you can get our inflatable lobster claws at buy one, get one free.
Now that's a good deal.
These supersized inflatable claws are perfect for back to school, bar mitzvahs, and weddings.
Maybe not bar mitzvahs.
Maybe not bar mitzvahs.
Inflatable lobster claws come with a lifetime guarantee for as long as you want to own them.
And with our buy one, get one sale, you're guaranteed the time of your life.
You can mix and match lobster claws.
For example,
You can order 2 left claws or 2 right claws to wear at ball games.
here's a testimonial from one of our satisfied customers.
My son bought me 2 inflatable lobster claws for Father's Day. Since then, everybody in my family has ordered a pair. We wear them everywhere we go, from business meetings to Chinese restaurants, and even the voting booth.
If you like red plastic,
And who doesn't?
order your inflatable lobster claws today.
Comedy Parenting Radio, vetoed number 1 by Parents Magazine.
That's voted number 1. Voted number 1 by Parents Magazine.
No, look. The article says vetoed number 1.
Oh, never mind. You know, we all want to be comfortable, don't we?
Yep.
But occasionally in life there are things that are just too close for comfort.
Yeah, they kind of work their way into our bubble.
And sometimes our bubble is really huge, isn't it?
Yep.
Sometimes it could be maybe a foot away from you, 3 feet away, 100 feet away, depending on the situation.
Like a nuclear bomb.
100 miles away.
I'm thinking. But what are some things that are too close for comfort that you've experienced?
Dad tapping on the keyboard. His fingers are just too close to the keyboard. I don't like it. The keyboard has a bubble, you know.
I was kind of hoping for something a little more realistic.
One of the things I can remember that was too close for comfort was one time I was probably close to a cliff edge that was probably over 1,000 feet straight down.
Where was that at?
It was Grand Canyon.
Yeah, there's a lot of Grand Canyon faux pas going on. We're going to try and avoid those. Mm-hmm. Another thing that's too close for comfort is when a dog comes up and nips at you.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't mind if I'm in the car, but if I'm walking or on a bike, not so good.
They'll just come up and go nip, nip, nip.
Do you remember the time that your sister Heidi got nipped by an ostrich?
Mm-hmm.
What was she doing anyway?
She was just holding on to the chain link fence, and the ostrich came over and went...
Thought her fingers were Fritos.
French fry fingers.
What else has been a little too close for comfort?
One time, where I was riding in the van in the passenger front side, and we were driving down this 2-lane highway. This fella with a work truck was coming by us from the opposite direction, but the ladder that he had on top was not secured correctly, and it came very close to hitting the van and me in the face.
That ladder just basically fell off the truck going around a curve.
Mm-hmm.
And I avoided it. It was really close.
It was very close.
So one day, we're driving down on this intersection. We got to a stoplight, and we wanted to turn left. So we started to turn left, and we saw this tiny little, like, Subaru, about the size of Dad's recording desk. The light was red for the little car. There was a truck behind us. The car came zooming in, and we turned, and the truck pulled out in front of the car going 90 miles an hour. And Joshua, was on the side that the car could have hit him probably by 5 or 10 feet.
It really could have. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Too close for comfort. Stay tuned.
I saw the world rushing all around your face, never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
Oh, okay, all right, United 209. Yeah, we have radar contact. You're looking very good. Pan American 715. You haven't seen United 209 up there anywhere, have you? It's a big plane. It's one of those 4-engine jobs. It's got United on the side. You can't miss it.
Too close for comfort. Comedy Parenting Radio. We live in Colorado, and another thing that's too close for comfort are avalanches.
Oh, yeah.
I was skiing on a black diamond, skied up on the side, and I could hear all the snow just going crunch.
Oh, no.
Like, let's get out of here. It's going to break away.
Did it break away?
I don't know. Not while we were on it. It was creepy, though.
You didn't stick around to find out, huh?
No. Sometimes you just go as fast as you can down the hill on your skis, and you don't look back.
That's how the avalanche sneaks up behind you and pickpockets you.
Another thing from nature that was too close for comfort for me was a lightning strike that was probably 20 to 30 feet away from me. This was at a friend's house, and they live in the woods. But this lightning bolt came straight down
and hit a tree in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It was crazy. It was so loud.
I've seen lightning hit rock pinnacles right next to where I was, and chunks of rock flying off the pinnacle. Kind of creepy.
Yeah.
There was also another lightning strike that was extremely close that I experienced. At our house, one of our friends was digging a well, and it was a lightning storm out. And we heard lightning probably about 1 second away. You count how many seconds, and then you ask your dad, how far away is the lightning, when you tell him how many seconds there were. And I was just walking around, because we usually disconnect all power, like the recording studio computer. And I saw this, like, white flash in my eyes, like how normally lightning does flash in your eyes, but it was probably 50 feet away. It hit the top of the drilling rig.
I have a lightning story. I actually don't remember this, but my sister Heidi likes to tell this story all the time. There was this one time when we were building on our house, we had this shed and this camper that we were using for temporary living quarters over the summer so that we didn't have to rent any place. But us boys were in the camper and the girls were down in the shed. And Heidi said that she heard loud lightning one night, and it was really loud and it was really close and it was scary. And I think it was Caleb said he actually saw that lightning hit the wind tower that was right next to the camper.
Correct. A direct hit on the wind turbine.
That's about 20 feet away from our camper.
Yeah.
So that was far too close for comfort.
You know what's also too close for comfort?
What would that be?
When you're going through caves, and, like, I'm a bit claustrophobic, and you go through this tiny little gap.
Sometimes just a walking cave tour is too close for comfort for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when they ask us how big the cave walk is up at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, I say, the narrowest spot is about as big as your closet, which is true.
Yeah.
Also, they have closet phobia.
Closet phobia.
Claustrophobia, closet phobia.
Wild animals can be too close for comfort.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Josh, did you see the mountain lion when you were feeding a dog or something?
No, that wasn't me. That was Elijah.
Okay. Do you have a wild animal story too close for comfort?
There was this one time that we were at the dump, and there was this one bear that came down while we were dumping trash and was headed towards our car, probably because he smelled all of the delicious trash in our car.
My delicious cooking, thank you.
We make only the finest of garbage. The bear started heading towards our car, and it was about to become an issue, but the very smart man that was running the excavation loader,
the
front end
trash compacting
thingy, strategically moved his loader around so that it was in between us and the bear, and the bear tried to go around it, but the guy kept moving his machine in between us and the bear. So whoever that guy was, thank you very much.
I've never been protected by a trash compactor before. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Too Close for Comfort. We'll be right back.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control over my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Move to the back of the bus, folks. Fill up the back seats.
Good grief.
Why don't you guys sit in the back of the bus?
Because you're playing Comedy Parenting Radio up here, and we want to hear it.
Ooh, I have another bear story at the dump. One day, we were dropping off some cardboard there. They sometimes take cardboard and, recycle it and such there. So we took some cardboard, and on the time there was a bear that came down to the cardboard deposit, and Dad was standing outside throwing away cardboard, and the bear was walking down, and he was getting close to the van. So, thankfully, Dad finished before the bear even got... Actually, no, the bear was probably 20 feet from the van.
I'm thinking that was a cardboard bear.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been,
I was in Yellowstone and wanted to see what all the people were looking at. Got out of my car, and it was a grizzly bear. So I got back in my car. Way too close for comfort. And the same thing with the buffalo, the bison there. Mm-hmm. Recently, people have been tossed around by bison. I was looking at this kind of stuff 20 years ago.
It's not smart to go up to large animals, or any animals in general, that you're uncertain of their tamedness.
Including feeding chipmunks. In the industrial world, there are a lot of close calls, too close for comfort. I was fighting a forest fire one time by Crested Butte, Colorado, watching the firefighters come back along the fire line, and a burned-out tree fell right behind the guy as he walked by, missed him by about 3 feet.
Ooh, that is far too close for comfort.
He just shrugged it off and continued on up, lit up a cigarette.
Sometimes someone else is holding a board over their shoulder and they're walking around and they miss your head with the back of the board by inches.
That would be called the "Hey Mo" syndrome. When we built our house, we did a lot of throwing tools around because I couldn't afford for everybody to have their own tools. So hammers would go flying up or down on the house. So everybody knew that if you yelled "headache," that it was coming down. And if you yelled "headache up," that you were throwing it up.
We shortened that to HUP.
HUP, yeah, headache up. HUP. Then you would catch the hammer, hopefully. Sometimes early in the building process, not everybody could catch the hammers. And they would come back down to you.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of close comforts...
close comforts? Say it again. Close calls.
Speaking of close calls...
Wait, too close for comfort? Close calls? I can see how you did that.
I was hammering in a nail one day, just, making a little wooden boat.
Kids, don't try this at home.
But I am at home.
You shouldn't have tried it.
Yeah.
Dad.
Continue.
So I was banging in a nail with a hammer, and I banged, and I banged, and I banged, and my hammer slid and almost hit my thumb, but I, yanked the hammer away from the nail so it wouldn't hit my thumb.
You were hitting a nail slow enough to pull the hammer away. You are far more genius than even I when using a hammer. You've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Too Close for Comfort. Thanks for coming in the studio today, gang.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I made it here just in the nick of time, just before we started.
And don't you need to get to work right now, Josh?
I do.
You better go or you're going to get fired.
See you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's very funny to me. Y'all ain't laughing though.